Welcome back to the Senior Health Podcast. Today, I want to start with something that might sound familiar to many listening. You brush your teeth every morning, you floss when you remember, and you even use mouthwash. Yet, when you look in the mirror, you still notice stains creeping in, gums that bleed just a little too often, or that fuzzy film that never seems to go away. For so many of my older patients, this feels like an unfair part of aging, almost inevitable. But here's what surprises people. Those changes in the mouth are not only about teeth, they're often silent signals of deeper shifts happening in the body. And ignoring them can mean more than just losing a tooth. It can link to heart disease, memory decline, even overall resilience as we grow older. To help us understand this better, I'm honored once again to be joined by someone who has spent more than 8 decades studying and practicing medicine. Dr. Gi Hinohara, a master of traditional Japanese medicine, who even now continues to guide patients with wisdom that blends the body, spirit, and daily rhythm. Dr. Hinohara, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Dr. John. It is always a blessing to sit with you. In Japan, we often say, the mouth is the gate of health and the teeth are the guardians of life. For centuries, we've known that the condition of one's mouth is not only about appearance. It reflects blood, digestion, and even the mind. To speak, to smile, to eat, all of these are daily miracles. When the gate weakens, the whole house inside is disturbed.
That's beautifully said. And it also reframes how we should think about aging and oral health. Because in Western practice, we often tell patients, well, bleeding gums, stains, or loose teeth are just normal after 60. But nearly 70% of adults over 65 have gum disease, and most don't realize it's linked to much bigger problems in the body. So maybe it's not simply normal aging.
Exactly. Aging does not mean breaking, it means changing. When someone tells me, Doctor, I brush every day and still my gums bleed, I do not blame the toothbrush. I ask instead, what is happening in the body's rivers and soil? Blood must flow, saliva must nourish, and the immune fire must remain steady. If these weaken, the mouth will always be the first to whisper.
That really changes the perspective, because I often see older adults who are meticulous. They brush every day, floss carefully, never miss a dentist appointment, and still they develop gum disease or plaque buildup. And the question always comes up, why does this happen if they're doing everything right?
Because the mouth does not live alone. In youth, circulation is strong, saliva flows easily, and enzymes repair quietly every night. But as we grow older, these rivers slow. Saliva, which I call the clear spring of the mouth, begins to dry. And saliva is not just water. It carries minerals, enzymes, and natural defenders that wash away acids and feed the gums. Without it, even perfect brushing cannot protect the teeth.
That's so interesting. In Western medicine, we rarely talk about saliva as more than just moisture. Yet you describe it almost as a living medicine inside the mouth.
Yes. In Japan, we sometimes call saliva the forgotten immune organ. It contains antimicrobial peptides, enzymes that break down food, and minerals that balance acidity. When medications, dehydration, or stress reduce saliva, the mouth becomes a desert. And in the desert, harmful bacteria multiply quickly.
So even a small imbalance, like a little less saliva, can set off a chain reaction?
Exactly. Plaque becomes tartar, minor redness becomes chronic inflammation. And when seniors think the answer is to scrub harder, they make the desert harsher. They erode enamel and expose roots. What they need is nourishment, not force.
That's a powerful point, because many of my patients assume that if they're still having trouble, the solution is to brush harder, rinse longer, or use stronger products. But from what you're saying, some of those habits might be making things worse.
Yes. Let me share 3 common mistakes I see again and again among older patients. First, alcohol-based mouthwashes. People believe they freshen the mouth, but they also kill the good bacteria that protect gums and regulate blood flow. We should see the mouth as a garden, not a battlefield. Second, brushing too hard, especially with stiff bristles. Teeth are alive, enamel thins with age. Excessive force wears away their armour and pushes gums back, leaving roots exposed. Third, ignoring dry mouth caused by medicines. More than 400 common drugs for blood pressure, allergies, sleep, reduce saliva. Yet most people are never warned how dangerous this dryness can be for oral health.
And what's heartbreaking is that none of these mistakes come from laziness. They come from people trying their best, often following advice. They want to be clean, to stay healthy, but they end up accelerating the damage.
Yes, which is why wisdom must guide effort. A person can work very hard and still go in the wrong direction.
That leads to the natural next question. If those are the pitfalls, what are the healthier routines? Especially in your tradition, Dr. Hinohara, what do you recommend for seniors who want to protect their mouths after 60?
In Japan, we focus on supporting the mouth's natural defences rather than attacking it. 3 practices are especially helpful. First, oil pulling. For centuries, we have used warm sesame or coconut oil, swishing gently for several minutes before brushing. This encourages saliva, loosens build-up, and creates an environment where friendly bacteria thrive. It is not about killing, but about balancing. Patients often tell me their breath improves, and their gums feel calmer within weeks.
That's fascinating. In Western circles, oil pulling has been dismissed as a trend, but studies from the National Institute of Dental and Craniofacial Research show it reduces bacteria like Streptococcus mutans, which are major drivers of decay. So it's not magic, it's a mechanical and microbial effect.
Exactly. When we honour the body's design, it rewards us. Second, turmeric paste. We mix turmeric with a little salt and coconut oil to create a gentle polish. Turmeric contains curcumin, a compound that reduces inflammation and supports gum tissue. Over time, it brightens the teeth naturally, without the harshness of bleaching.
That connects beautifully with Western research, too. Curcumin is well documented for its anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial effects, and I like how you emphasize it's not just cosmetic, it's restorative.
Yes. Whitening should not mean stripping away. It should mean bringing balance back. The third practice is aloe vera. The clear pulp, applied gently to the gums, cools inflammation and heals micro tears. It soothes tissue irritated by brushing or dentures. Many households in Japan grow aloe, and the plant becomes both medicine and companion.
That makes sense from a physiological perspective. Aloe has compounds that reduce swelling and support tissue repair. And what I hear you saying is that these practices are not about sterilizing the mouth, but nourishing it.
Yes. The mouth is not a battlefield. It is a garden. Gardens do not thrive when sprayed with poisons every day. They thrive when watered, protected, and given good soil.
That metaphor bridges so well with modern science, because even in Western research now, we're beginning to see the mouth as a microbiome, like the gut. It's about cultivating balance, not eliminating everything.
And balance begins each morning. In Japan, we advise elders not to start the day with strong acids like citrus juice on an empty stomach. Instead, warm water, fermented vegetables, or miso soup prepare the mouth and digestion gently. This sets the right pH, introduces healthy bacteria, and protects the teeth before brushing.
That's striking because so many of my patients start with toast and orange juice, or fruit with coffee, thinking it's light and healthy. Yet those combinations create acid surges that soften enamel and feed harmful bacteria. Timing and pairing matter more than we realize.
Yes. What we eat first is the conductor of the day's orchestra. If it begins out of tune, the whole body struggles to harmonize.
I think this is where your wisdom really shines, Dr. Hinohara, because you remind us it's not just about brushing harder or buying stronger products. It's about restoring balance. Could you share a story from your practice that shows how these changes can truly make a difference?
Yes. I remember a woman, 72 years old, who came to me with great sadness. She brushed 3 times a day, used the strongest mouthwash, yet her gums bled, Her teeth loosened, and she feared losing her smile. When I examined her, I found her mouth was very dry, and her diet each morning was coffee and fruit. Her efforts were sincere, but her approach was harsh. I asked her to make 3 small changes: to stop using alcohol mouthwash, to begin each day with warm miso soup, and to gently swish sesame oil before brushing. Within 2 weeks, she returned and said her mouth felt alive again. The bleeding reduced, her breath improved, and more importantly, she said she no longer felt ashamed to laugh with her grandchildren.
That's powerful, because the transformation wasn't only physical, it was emotional and social too. And that's what oral health really is. It affects how we connect with others, how confident we feel, even how we age gracefully.
Yes. When the gate of the mouth is restored, the whole house of the body feels peace again.
So, if someone listening today is over 60 and noticing these problems, bleeding gums, stains, or that fuzzy film, what's the simple plan they can begin tonight?
Begin gently. Tonight, try swishing warm sesame oil for 5 minutes before brushing. In the morning, drink warm water or miso soup before any citrus or coffee. If you have aloe at home, apply a little of the clear gel to your gums. These are small rituals, but when done consistently, they nourish the body as a whole.
And from the Western perspective, the science aligns with this. Oil pulling reduces harmful bacteria. Turmeric calms inflammation. Aloe promotes healing. And diet, especially avoiding acidic combinations in the morning, protects enamel and the microbiome. So, the plan is simple but deeply supported by both tradition and research.
Yes, simplicity is the highest form of wisdom.
Beautifully said.
In Japan, we say, a smile is half health. Caring for the mouth is not vanity. It is protecting memory, energy, and joy.
That's the perfect note to end on. Thank you, Dr. Hinohara, for sharing this wisdom with us today.
And thank you, Dr. John. May all who listen remember, gentle care is powerful care.
And to our listeners, try these small changes and let us know how you feel in a week. This has been the Senior Health Podcast. Until next time, stay well, stay gentle, and keep smiling.